morning children, welcome to the class. Today I am going to take the class for 8th standard. The subject is civics. We are going to see about the judiciary, that is your 7th lesson. Before going to that, just what are the things we will see the learning objectives. Learning objectives, that is the evaluation of judiciary system, judicial system, structure of the Indian judiciary, jurisdiction of Supreme Court, High Court and subordinate court, to understand the need for the independent judiciary. Next we are going to study about the civil, difference between civil law and criminal law. First we will see the evaluation of Indian judiciary. There we can say study about the ancient period, medieval period and modern period. First we will see the ancient period. During the ancient times, the concept of justice was linked with the religion. The king was regarded as the fountainhead of the justice. And the kings, most of the kings, courts dispensed justice according to dharma, that is righteousness and duty. A set of conventional laws, dharmic laws governed not only the individual but also the society. Next, medieval period, the Tughlaq period saw the completion of the code of civil procedure. It was called Ferozi Shahi. The code prescribed details of the procedure and the law in several matters. It was written in Arabic and also translated in Persian. Next we will see judiciary during medieval period. The Indian judicial system and laws we have today was formed by the British during the colonial rule in the court, that is in the country. The beginning of the Indian codified common laws is traced back to 1727 under the Charter of 1726. When the mayor's courts in Madras, Bombay and Calcutta was established by the East India Company, Lord Cornwallis reorganized the civil and criminal judicial system. During the period of William Bentinck, 4 circuit courts were abolished. The Government of India Act of 1935 created Federal Court. Next we will see the structure of courts in India. There are 3 different levels of courts in our country. First we will see Supreme Court of India. Supreme Court takes part in decision or binding on all courts, can transfer judges of High Court, can move cases from any courts to itself, can transfer cases from one High Court to another. Next, High Court. High Court can hear appeals from lower courts, can issue writs for restoring fundamental rights, can deal with cases within the jurisdictions of the state, exercises superintendence and control over courts below it. Next we will see District Court. District Court deals with cases arising in the district, considers appeals on decision given by lower courts. Next, decides cases involving serious criminal offences. Next, we will see the subordinate court. It considers cases of civil and criminal nature. Okay, now we will see judicial system. Why do we need a judicial system? Actually, judiciary plays an important role as an organ of the government. It administers justice, settles disputes, interprets laws, protects fundamental rights and acts as guardian of the constitution. So, we need a judiciary to be efficient in order to ensure proper justice. Next, we have seen already the different levels of courts, that is subordinate court, district court, high court and supreme court. Next, we will see differentiate law and judiciary. Law, it is a system of rules imposed through a government or institution to govern people. Judiciary, In law, the judiciary or judicial system is the system of courts which administers justice in the name of the state. Next we will see the Lok Adalt. Lok Adalt was set up to provide speedy justice. It hears and settles the disputes in the language of the people in the public presence. A Lok Adalt is presided over by a writ judge along with a lawyer and a social worker. Cases are put forward without advocates. The first Lok Adalt was held on 1982. Next we will see the advantage of mobile courts. Mobile courts will be of great relief to the rural people. It would create greater awareness about the judicial system among the rural masses, cut cost for them and render justice at their doorstep. Next we will see the role of judiciary. It can be classified as dispute resolution and judicial review. Third one is upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. First we will see dispute resolution. Role of judiciary can be classified as the judicial system provides a mechanism for resolving disputes between citizens and the governments. Two state government, the center and the state government. Next we will see judicial review. The judicial has the power to declare a law unconstitutional if it believes that the law passed by the parliament is violating the basic structure of the constitution. Next we will see third one, upholding the law and enforcing fundamental rights. Every citizen of India can approach the Supreme Court or High Court if they believe that their fundamental rights have been violated. Next we will see difference between civil law and criminal law. First we will see civil law. It deals with disputes over money, property and social matters. Example, disputes relating to land, rent, marriage dispute, etc. A petition has to be filed before the relevant court by the affected parties. Third one is sentences awarded in the form of money, remuneration and as per the petitioner's claim. Next we will see criminal law. It deals with conducts or acts that the law defines as offences. Example, theft, murder, woman, arson, etc. It usually begins with loading of an FIR. FIR means first information report with police investigation, after which a case is filed in the court. Punishment awarded if proven guilty, the accused is sent to jail. Okay children, so far we have learnt about the judiciary. Next class we will see.